you're in the process of finding the right contractor for your project. So oftentimes when homeowners are looking for someone for the project, they're wanting to know how much does something cost and am I hiring the right person? So my hope is I'm going to go over some red flags of things to avoid as you're doing the search and some green flags for finding the right contractor. So we'll start with red flags. So first red flag is the contractor that you're talking with wants a substantial upfront deposit before any work is done, before any materials are purchased. In Pennsylvania, legally, you're only allowed to require up to a third deposit before the project starts. Second thing is they want you to pull the permits. So if you're pulling the permits, that means all of your information is on file with the township, not theirs. That's a red flag because then they're not giving the township their proof of insurance. They're not giving the township their home improvement verification. They're not giving them any information. So they're kind of off the radar if they're having you, the homeowner, pull the permit. And often they'll say, hey, to save some money, do you want to pull the permit? That's a red flag. You're the contractor, should always be pulling the permit. Another red flag is that they can start the project tomorrow. If they can start the project tomorrow, that should be a red flag. You should ask, you don't have other work lined up, like how is it that you can start this project tomorrow? Another red flag would be that there's no proof of this company online. Like you search, ABC contractor and nothing comes up on them. There's no proof of them doing similar work to yours. They pull up some photos, but it's cropped or it's not their work and they're just sending you generic photos. That should be a red flag. So those are things that you need to be aware of. They're having you pull the permit. They're asking for a lot of money up front. They can start tomorrow and they have no proof of work, that they've done work that you're asking for, that you're wanting on your home. Those are all red flags. Okay, so set that over here. So green flags are they're not requiring more than a third deposit up front. Now, contractors are not banks. We do have to pay for a lot of materials. So most of the time, projects, for a home are thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's totally appropriate for a contractor to say, hey, to get on our schedule, we need a third deposit. That helps us get materials ordered for your project so they're here on time so we can start your project on time and there's no logistical issues. And that should only happen after there's a signed contract of here's the work that we're doing, and hey, there's materials that are going to be required. Second thing is they can't start tomorrow. They have a steady flow of work. They're like, hey, we're a couple months out. They have enough workers to be chomping at the work, but they're a couple weeks out, a couple months out. They're not able to start this tomorrow, and that's a good thing. Most homeowners are wanting a project to start tomorrow, but if somebody can start tomorrow, there's usually a reason why, and it's usually not a good reason. So you're wanting the project that, like for us, so if we're building a sunroom, this is a project that's gonna last 30, 40, 50 years before it needs a new roof or a new this or that. So can you wait a couple months for a project that's gonna last you 30, 40, 50 years? I'm hoping you can. Another is, they're going to pull the permit. The contractor should be the one pulling the permit for the work that they're going to perform. When we pull permits, we have to give proof of insurance, workman's comp, all the kind of necessary requirements that the township wants to verify that we're a reputable, that we have the appropriate paperwork on our end. We give that to the township so that they can be verifying that, and that protects you, the homeowner. That's a green flag. Another thing is you should be able to find the contractor. There should be some online, it's 2025, we should be able to find some online evidence that this person exists. They have a website, they have reviews, they're good reviews, there's some mixed reviews. You should be able to see what those reviews, and if there's a bad review, could be, there's a reason why. Ask the contractor, hey, what's up with this review? Get some more information. And you should see that they're doing work that you're wanting. If you're wanting a new roof, but they don't do roofs, and they say that they can, you should ask, oh, it says you're a sunroom company. Do you do roofs? Oh yeah, we do roofs because we do roofs on our sunrooms. That should make sense. But if they're saying, hey, we'll redo your kitchen, but they do sunrooms, maybe that's not a good fit. And a reputable contractor will say, hey, we're not a good fit on that. We do X, Y, and Z. We don't do A, B, C. Another thing is pricing. So often, if you, the homeowner, you should be a little bit guarded about giving how much another contractor said that they could do a project for. For example, if you say, hey, this other contractor said they could do it for $10,000, and then another contractor says, oh, I can do it for less. Be a little bit concerned. I don't base my pricing on what other contractors price. I base our pricing on what do the materials cost, how long is this project going to take, and how much time and labor it's going to take. And then I need to factor in, hey, we do need to make a profit so that we can stay in business and take care of our clients. So I don't base my work on what someone else charges. So just keep that in mind. You could pay $10,000 or $15,000, or you could pay somebody $15,000 to clean up a $10,000 project. So think of it in that terms of you could pay 10 or 15, or you could pay 10 and 15 if it's not done right the first time. So those are the red flags. If they can start tomorrow, if they're not pulling permits, if they want lots of money up front, be cautious, be careful. I've had a number of clients reach out to me and say, hey, this is what happened, can you help me? And I'm like, I wish I had made this video to help you before you made a deal with this contractor, and they did not do a good job on your project, or you have to go through a legal battle. So the green flags are they're requiring no more than a third up front, they're pulling the permit, they're licensed, they're insured, they have a decent steady flow of work, they have proof of their work, they have a website, you can find who they are, and they're appropriately priced. They're not the cheapest. Hey, I get it, you probably don't want the most expensive, they're somewhere in between. And I really do think that Lincoln Built, we do a good job of doing the right work, doing it at a fair price, and that's kind of where we're meeting, right in the middle. So I hope this video helps you avoid a headache, find the right contractor. I hope it's us. Take care.